I'll check with you how to cut scenes according to the music beat, and I will use speed ramp in a quick and neat way. First, when I import the music, I right-click and show music beat. I've already done this, and I will measure how long it is from one beat to the next. For example, from here to here, right, I will cut a segment to see how long it is. I can click on frame and it's 33 frames, which means for each scene, here I will cut 33 frames. And now I will try selecting new scenes. I have already filtered the scenes. For example, I will choose close-up scenes here and select a few scenes that just randomly select to work quickly. I will drag them up. And I need to change the duration of these edges to 33 frames, as I calculated earlier, and then what? Delete the excess parts. Now what can I do? Trim again, move the scenes around to make it reasonable here. For example, the scene, right. I can switch to trim mode so I can select the edge again, for example, and here I've prepared the speed ramp samples, but I have to rely on the music to see which sample fits. So what can I choose? The sample is fast, then slow, and then fast to use. There, what can I choose? Fast, slow, and fast. And what is that characteristic? When I use speed ramp to transition between scenes, it has to consecutively connect in a logical way. For example, fast, slow, fast, then the next side must be fast. It means fast, slow, fast, then the next must be fast, slow, or fast, fast, or fast, slow, fast. It depends on the main thing is it must have logic. I go to playback. I turn on render cache and turn it to smart. Here I can see the parameters I have set. First is speed, which here is 3.9, and here is the average speed of this shot. It means sometimes fast, sometimes slow, right, but averages out to 3.9 times. Next is Speedmax, which is the maximum speed, meaning for example if I adjust speed to around 5, it will encounter an error. So what? Speedmax is the speed limit that I can adjust to the maximum. For example, here I can push 3.8. Next, Speedreal is the instantaneous speed. Currently it is rendering, so what is it? It just changes numbers I can drag, for example, like fast, slow, fast, so when I run, then at this point, in the middle, Speedreal is 1.1. What does that mean? It tells me that currently the speed is 1.1 times, but suppose in the middle of that, right, I want it to return to normal or to slow motion. What can I do? Reduce the speed. It will run according to 3.45, then the speed is 1, but suppose I still leave it at 3.9. I want the Speedreal speed to be 1, then I can adjust the curve here. I can drag it a bit there, and drag the curve a bit. It's 0. 973 equivalent to nearly 1, so now I'll try running it. As for here, it's motion blur. So here, motion blur is at 0, then when the speed drops below 1.2, for example, it will go back to 0. Here is no motion blur, which means I set a limit so that when the speed falls within the range of -1 to 1.2, there will be no motion blur, because I want when the speed is normal, there is no motion blur, so that the image is very sharp. Here is this mode. If I choose nearest, you see, it will be sharper. As for blend, it will be a mix of multiple frames before and after. You can choose multiple frames to blend them together, so sometimes it might feel a bit blurry, but when the speed is around 1 time, it almost doesn't change much, so it's okay. Blend motion blur means how much motion blur level is. For example, if I pull here, then motion blur is at 1, right? Then I can pull it back and it will follow, whereas when the speed returns to 1, then motion blur equals 0. Here, I can adjust it. For example, I can pull this to 0.9. It's still motion. It's just the limit. I can adjust it here according to my preference, because I mainly control speed. So why do I do this? Because when I use this, I can drag preset in and quickly adjust it. I can adjust the speed. I can control the instant speed, as well as the motion blur, and then the maximum speed. Normally, I just pull the speed right there. I use it normally, so when I've cut it to the music like this, I want to adjust the speed, then it's quite annoying because I might have to do what? I have to choose, for example, fast, slow, fast, then what do? Choose this point, then choose a point like this. Both sides are fast while the middle is slow, for example, so like that. I find it quite long. For example, if I choose the speed on this side as 800, then it pulls back. I need to extend it. It means it's time consuming. This section is, for example, also 800. There, see, then I have to drag. I drag it to the middle, then what? I will drag both sides out there. I drag it out there like that, for instance. I drag it out, then what? I go to keyframe and I will select this icon to soften it. For example, here, I soften it. Of course, I can make further adjustments, but it will take quite a bit of time. And here, when I want this edge to be in the center, I need to go back to trim mode. And I pull, then pulling like this causes this part to shift over here. This part moves over, so I need to make another adjustment again. Must adjust, but adjusting makes it push out. Quite cumbersome. Over to my side, for example here, trim freely. Pull back and forth, but the curve isn't affected. Or I pull over here to change the frame. It doesn't affect anything at all. Feel free. What's the next step? Oh, the side has been cut to the music even if I cut it off, for example. Just cut it here. Oh, it's still comfortable, and here I can look at this music sheet too. Adjust it means this beginning part I will let it go fast, then slow, more gradually go fast to slow, more gradually, and the latter part I will let it go fast more rapidly back to 1-0, which means the middle part is back to normal speed. I'm just giving an example like that, and after finishing one side, I will copy and now I can choose the remaining sides. I paste it by pressing Option plus V there, and I select Fusion Effect there so it will be applied to the side to right away. Test it again there. This side, this part is a bit bad, so I can trim. I can drag with the image like this. Here, what can I do? Go to Effect and I can reverse it. There, I can reverse it. Then it will run backward. There. Or what can I do? Select this one, then it will go forward and backward, like that. Now I rerun because it hasn't rendered in time. Comic relief. Here is a long edge, and I also cut along the beat, but cut a long segment. Here this long segment is, I'll make it fast, slow. Then fast, then slow according to the beat, always fast, fast, fast. Comic relief. How to do it here, in the effects section. I will drag the set. Here, I drag into set and it hasn't done anything yet. Here, there's a beat in, so I will speed it up a bit. Here at the beginning, I'll speed it up. I drag it here. In the end, I also speed it up. And every beat, I speed it up once. Here, I've divided it. There, at 50%, it's in the middle. I speed it up 75%. I speed it up 25%. I also speed it up. There, like that. I drag it back. Almost done. Now, let's run it. Okay, basically like that. Let's turn on render again. And for example here in this part, I can do something, bend it like this. See how it works, right? So what is it? Fast, slow, but rewind. Or revert back. Okay, run that, but I see that it's quite light. I'll make it intense like this. Try it again. In general, I aim for quickness and easy adjustment. I also have easy control. There are cases like a long edge, but I want to switch the beginning and the end. As for the middle part, I don't want to switch. It's easy though. Here, I'll pull this bit out. See, for example, I'll pull out this edge. I'll delete it. For example, I cut off the beginning. The last part I cut off, and I want this part to be switch out. This part is switch out, so the next part here is it's fast, right? Here it must be slow. This part is already slow, so this is slow fast. I will drag slow fast into it there. Here slow and fast. I will drag it in there. I look at the chart, it's going up like this. Then over here it must also go up sharply like this. Okay, there. Because why don't I drag the long parts? Because at that time it's harder to control and it's heavily powerful. I just want to do the beginning and end only. The beginning is similar like that. The beginning I will use what's called, this is the last frame, so what will I use? Fast and slow there. Pull in, because in the middle the average speed is calculated as slow. Then I'll use, or is it just what? Just 1 or 2 seconds, but for the longer scenes I need to cut both the beginning and the end, and here I also have a scene transition that's home fuck. Speed RAM here. When I use a scene transition, it won't be abrupt, yeah. it won't be abrupt between the two scenes. I can copy both. Here I will erase and add the story of Speedram into personnel project for small funds and infrastructure affecting traffic. Here it will be slow, then fast, and then it will continue to be fast and then slow. Personnel project for small funds and infrastructure affecting traffic means it can't increase much because it depends on the length of the transition segment. So what? It will have to slow down the beginning and speed up the middle to connect the two edges. So for example, the speed is normal, it will slow down a bit, then speed up, slow down again, and back. Now I can be more creative. Here, I also measure according to the music. I erase this point here, fast, and then here I want it to be fast. Well, I also chose this 50%. I chose it quickly, pull it back, pull back the curve, will adjust, and of course, what is it? I will adjust it to C, meaning the speed is at negative 0.6. What does it mean? What is it now? That's slow motion. Here I will turn off the render card. Okay, it's rendered here, 0. Oh, here I need to make some adjustments to make it reasonable. Bringing it to -1 is perfect. There's also a sideways shift here. See, here, we can control easily. Previously, what did I use? You can go into Fusion, do many things. Here, now I'll try doing it in Fusion. So first I'll duplicate it. To do it, I'll delete. There, the advantage is like this. I go into Fusion, right, I'll enter time here, time for tricks to here. Sorry, my English is too limited here. Okay, I'll sign at point 0 is 0 and the ending point here is 45, right. There, but I want to increase how many times I need to. See its vertex angle, which is 175, it's the highest. Its maximum, it's just 175, 176 here. What do I have to do? For example, I set the highest to 175, let's say it's equivalent to 4. Approximately more than 3 times here. 175 there, okay, it's already sped up and I can enter spin line. Now, I can adjust the line, right. Initially make it fast, then I'll make it slow and fast again in the middle. It's so there, and at the end, it's fast. The problem is I don't know what the speed is right now, specifically, how much. I have to see with my eyes, and I can't follow the beat. Currently, I can still hear the beat, right, but I won't be as good as in tab edit. And the point is that when I go to tab edit, now I want let's extend it a bit, double it. Then I go back to Fusion. Now, it has changed the timing. I have to sign it again. I have to drag this timing point. I have to drag it to this point to make it twice as long. And what if I speed up? I find myself changing the scene there. I go back to Fusion, so the points, the signatures have changed and they sign again from the beginning. It's a hassle, of course. I have precise control, very high accuracy, but what? It takes time. Okay, I delete it. That's why I created the tablet, and I thoroughly checking many parts. That's the speed has sound. What is sound? It backs off. No, it's called revert, and then there's Mac is maximum. There are things I have to handle there. I have to optimize, and a note that is, when we are doing speed RAM, then we should choose those scenes it has continuous with the same perspective, same path. For example, it's going across, then I will. What are the selected shots? It pans horizontally. For example, moving forward is moving forward, and moving backward is moving backward. For instance, it means that with the same motion, it will be smoother. Here is the same focal point. When the human eye looks at that point in the foreground, then the background must also be there, and the motions will relatively take note. Here I'm doing it quickly, so what? I just bring this shot in and quickly cut it for you guys and explain for you to understand. You can see that the motion is also quite strong there. The focal point is here. See, this is motion blur, and we can fully control it, meaning, if it's too much, decrease it a bit. So I made the time blitz like that. Of course, you can also apply this to use Fulton, meaning cut to the edge. Then what's next? Fulton room to adjust the speed, then it will be faster than doing the speed first and then working with the beat. Adjusting it is very laborious, so we need to cut to the edge according to the beat first. Then what's next? Adjusting the speed, then it will quicker. And if you have any questions, just message me so I can respond further, and I thank you very much.